It's the first lower weather day here in the Bay Area as we are talking about an atmospheric river right around the corner. Now today it's just a quick splash of showers before the main event heading into this weekend, but it's important to note this quick splash of showers can still give us up to around 1/4 of an inch of rain up into the North Bay near Petaluma, stretched all the way up into Santa Rosa as it continues to track from north to south. Now our friends down in the south, closer to San Jose, all throughout the Santa Clara Valley, can see closer to around 1/10 of an inch of rain as we head into the evening hours tonight, early morning hours tomorrow, but those showers start to ramp up everywhere throughout the Bay as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week as this atmospheric river really acts like a fire hose pushing into California, specifically the Bay Area from the Pacific. Now at that point we can see anywhere up to around 2 to 6 inches of rain accumulate up in the North Bay, and then we continue to see more showers heading into Christmas Eve. Here we go all the way into the evening hours that night, and Christmas Day right around the corner. Heavy snow up into the Sierra and all throughout those foothills. There's definitely going to be winter storm watches and warnings in effect issued by the National Weather Service as we head into late next week. So from now until Christmas Day, I can't emphasize this enough. Be very careful out there on the roads because we are seeing wet conditions each day as we head into this weekend's forecast and early next week all throughout the Bay Area. I'm actually going to draw off the map and just show you the next 7 days real fast. As we head into this weekend's forecast, daytime highs are also staying in the upper 50s and lower 60s, I should say. So that's not the big concern for us. It's just this wet weather causing inconveniences out there on the roads, as well as potentials for delays at airports too. So we'll keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center, but for now I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. Today is the last day to make any last-minute preps for the parade of storms heading our way. So for a lot of people, that means cleaning out gutters and getting sandbags if needed. Let's go to Veronica Macias at a sandbag station in Santa Rosa. People taking this seriously?
It seems like it. Good morning, and we have seen some people preparing for this incoming storm this morning here in Santa Rosa. Here at this yard off of Stony Point Road and West College Avenue, Public Works has already restocked their sand here. It's here for the taking for people who are preparing for the parade of storms, like you said. We have seen people out and about in the city. Some people even volunteering this morning, going out to the creek, that's Spring Creek in Santa Rosa, which is known to flood. People in this part of the North Bay, they're being reminded to sign up for weather alerts with Sonoma County. Homeowners around the past burn areas in this part of the county are being told to remove stuff from around the gutters, bags of sands. Free here at this yard station, you simply have to show ID. Now, it's been continuously restocked for the upcoming stormy weekend. People around here tell me they like the rain, especially since we don't get the white stuff around Christmas.
There is. We don't get so much flooding here as I know Roner Park gets really bad. So from what I know here, it's pretty okay.
People seem to be most concerned with the creek here in Santa Rosa. A lot of people volunteering, picking up stuff from the creek so that nothing gets bundled up and clogs the gutters and the storm drains in the city. And a lot of people also worried about the homeless that are along the creek. So a lot of people heading over to shelters is what we're told this morning. And a lot of city city crews are around town also picking up bundles of leaves so nothing blocks the water from flowing. And people are really concerned about flooding in areas that are known to flood here. So some people just making those last minute tweaks to their homes, preparing for this incoming storm.
All right, and people looking out for each other. Love to see it. Thanks, Veronica Macias in the North Bay. And you can stay with us for continuing coverage of these storms over the next few days as they make their way across the Bay. Follow us anytime on air on our website and streaming on the free CBS News app. Police in Rhode Island say that a tipster helped police identify the suspect in the Brown shooting University. Investigators say the same man murdered an MIT professor. Reporter Tom Hansen has more.
After almost a week of pleading with the public for help, police in Providence last night said 48-year-old Claudio Manuel Neves Valente of Portugal was the man who killed 2 students at Brown University Saturday and say he was a former student there between 2000 and 2001. The search for Neves Valente ended here, 90 minutes from Providence in Salem, New Hampshire, inside this unoccupied storage facility where he had rented a unit. He was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
This was always going to be an investigation where something was going to break it open.
For days, the public and law enforcement had relied on these images of the gunman near the Brown campus Saturday, but a break came on Thursday when investigators say a witness came forward and described his interactions with Neves Valente before the shooting at Brown.
I think it was under an hour. That person came forward, and that person led us to the car, which led us to the name, which led us to the photographs of that individual renting the car, which matched the clothing of our shooter here in Providence.
Then, using a network of security footage, authorities were able to retrace the gunman's trail across New England, leading them to the home of MIT professor Nuno Lauriero.
On December 15th, he murdered MIT professor Nuno Lauriero at Lauriero's home in Brookline, Massachusetts.
Police said the two attended the same academic program in Portugal between 1995 and 2000 and may have known each other.
And following those revelations, Secretary Kristi Noem said the U.S. will put a pause on the diversity visa lottery program. Valente entered the country through that program in 2017. He was granted a green card. Now, as for investigators, they will continue to dig deeper on a motive.
Well, the tip that helped police piece this together came from a Reddit user known as John. According to a police affidavit, John described seeing the suspect acting suspiciously and was driving that car in question. Richmond's mayor is apologizing after accusations that he is spreading anti-Semitic propaganda online. Eduardo Martinez said that he shared previous posts without thinking. But the Jewish Community Relations Council wants him to resign, saying that he's demonstrated an alarming and ongoing pattern of conduct. One example, a repost on LinkedIn suggesting the terror attacks on Australia's Bondi Beach last week was a false flag attack from Israel, and saying Israel is trying to manufacture fear and hate. The JCRC is also accusing the mayor of wearing a hat with an acronym that called for death to the Israeli Defense Forces. In his apology on LinkedIn, Mayor Martinez said, of course, we know that anti-Semitism was here before the creation of the State of Israel. As I've said many times before, we should not conflate Zionism with Judaism. They are two separate beliefs, and goes on to say, once again, I apologize for posting in haste without full understanding of the posting. But the JCRC says that apology is not enough. We heard from the organization's senior director of government affairs, who says he wants the mayor out and the council to censure him for his remarks.
It is very clear the mayor of Richmond is an anti-Semite, he's a disgrace, and he's unfit to hold office. This is not a one-off issue. This is part of a pattern that he has demonstrated over the years of his time at the city.
Yeah, this is not the first time Jewish groups have taken issue with Mayor Martinez. Back in 2023, 2 weeks after the October 7th Hamas attack in Israel, he led the Richmond City Council in passing a ceasefire resolution that also accused Israel of ethnic cleansing and did not condemn Hamas. We reached out to the mayor for an interview and have not yet heard back. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, his fields are filled with crops, but the farmer can't find anyone to harvest them. Now, the fear of ICE raids is leaving produce to rot. Plus, how activists in the South Bay are pushing to protect immigrants in their communities by turning to the Bible.
Miss Blue joins us in studio. She is a digital double of a real blue whale that washed ashore in the Bay Area. Meet the team that brought her back to life.
It's the first alert weather day here in the Bay Area as we are gearing up for an atmospheric river to roll in right around the corner. And this is going to bring in heavy amounts of rain, especially as we head into this weekend and early next week. Now, today alone, places like the North Bay can see anywhere up to around 1/4 of an inch. Anywhere down into the South Bay, closer to 1/100 of an inch of rain. But that's going to start adding up as we head into the next couple days, especially as the showers start to get heavier Sunday into Tuesday of next week, where the North Bay can see anywhere up to around 6 inches in certain microclimates. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
A suspected dog napper is under arrest in San Francisco, but still no sign of the stolen dog. This is Hank, a French bulldog, 4 years old. Police say 44-year-old Dante Shaw of Oakland picked him up from the sidewalk last Wednesday and took off. They tracked him down a couple of days ago, but not the dog. Police say Hank is valued at nearly $1,000 and probably much more to his parents. Fields full of perfectly good produce are going largely unharvested this holiday season, and one farmer tells us the ramped-up immigration raids we've been seeing across the country are scaring workers away from this year's harvest. Our Scott Rates went to Hollister on the Central Coast to look at how the worker shortage is taking a toll and how it could lead to higher prices for all of us.
These farms feed America.
Here, what we're looking for, this is an actual broccoli down here. Yes, that will be heart-wrenching to see that turn into a beautiful product and then to just have to walk away from it.
Tony Sereno owns Jazz Family Farms Organics in Hollister.
I was brought here since I was 3 and grew up on a farm.
Holding rotten eggplant, he is frustrated. Tony says nowadays that his farm sometimes leaves behind at least 90% of their crops.
Because we don't have enough staff.
Tony tells me that because his farms in Hollister and Watsonville are off the main roads, that it's adding to the workers' anxiety.
We're very exposed here to just traffic in general, and of course it leaves everybody with the fear that at any moment, the ice can just come in and start to raid the fields.
During a normal harvest season, Tony would have anywhere from 150 to 200 workers in these fields. He says now that's down to 20 or fewer on some days.
We need to protect our food supply. We need to ensure that no one is afraid to go to work, especially doing something like this. Farm work is extremely hard, if not one of the hardest jobs.
Fear has been growing through the agricultural industry. There have been some high-profile immigration raids, including one at a cannabis farm in Ventura County over the summer, where federal agents clashed with protesters. So, as more ag workers stay home, what does that mean for your local produce aisle?
It does start here. If we reduce the amount of production for whatever reason, you're going to notice that there's less of. Anytime there's less supply and the same demand, the prices are going to go high.
As for the crops being hit the hardest?
We lost an entire field, just about, of chiles, of jalapeno peppers, serranos. There were some cherry bombs, some beautiful stuff.
You got to think there's hope out there because, I mean, people have to eat in this country.
That's what I believe in. I don't know what other people believe, but and that's what keeps me going, is there's got to be a change. This will turn around because people have to continue to eat.
Well, Serrano says that it's bad as it is now. He has even more uncertainty about production for next year's harvest season. Meanwhile, the California Farm Bureau had a message for farm workers feeling anxiety over immigration raids. They say, we understand the uncertainty that some might feel right now, and we want to be absolutely clear. California's farmers stand with you. We respect you. We value you. And we'll do everything in our power to ensure that agriculture remains a place where you are safe and supported. Local religious leaders and community activists are showing their support for immigrants ahead of the holidays. They mixed protests against the Trump administration's immigration policies with a Mexican Christmas tradition in San Jose. La Posada reenacts the story of Mary and Joseph's search for shelter in Bethlehem as they were turned away before the birth of Jesus, as the story goes. This group walked to locations like the county jail yesterday to spread a message of hospitality and inclusion. Reverend Steve Pinkston says it's more relevant than ever in today's climate of ramped up ICE raids and deportations.
This land of the free, this home of the brave, this place that we call America where our Constitution says that we are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I believe is for all.
Well, the demonstration comes after President Trump's primetime speech Wednesday, tying the country's economic struggles to, or success rather, to the crackdown on immigration. But San Jose Councilman Peter Ortiz says immigrants are essential to the economy. He's calling for $500,000 to be reallocated from the city's budget toward immigration services, which would support the Rapid Response Network, legal defense, and other services for undocumented immigrants.
We are in a budget shortfall. These are not easy decisions. But at the end of the day, if we are not putting money into the individuals that literally our economy is based off of, right? Our immigrant community is the backbone of our local economy.
Ortiz represents the east side of San Jose, one of the largest concentrations of Latino and Mexican immigrants in Northern California. Earlier this week, more than 40 religious leaders were arrested in downtown San Francisco for blocking the doors of the federal immigration courthouse. Those waiting in line with appointments were told to leave, and those arrested were cited and released. The countdown is on to Christmas and covered California's enrollment deadline with some big price hikes set to take effect on the first of the year. Reporter Steve Large has more on the potential impact with healthcare subsidies about to expire.
In all the excitement surrounding Christmas,
holiday shopping, actually, yeah.
AJ Okocha has not considered what comes next.
I think it's going to be a big impact.
He is one of the thousands who could see his covered California health insurance rates rise if he doesn't change plans or drop his coverage altogether.
It's funny because I've been having my calls to actually renew my health insurance. I haven't answered the phone.
So December 31st is the drop dead deadline for your health plan to begin on January 1st.
Jessica Altman is CEO of Covered California and has been warning enrollees their health care bills could double starting next year without Congress extending health care tax credits.
So we are someone who is 35. We are married to someone who is 34.
Altman took me on a window shopping tour of healthcare plans. The numbers show this year a couple in their 30s could find these plans to pick from. $33 a month for a Western Health HMO, $166 a month for a Kaiser HMO, and $181 for a Blue Shield HMO. Next year, those same plans increase to $278, $330, and $392 a month, respectively. Overall, Covered California plans are expected to double in price.
New signups are down. So this is not people already enrolled renewing. This is new people coming in, shopping, and enrolling in coverage.
The sudden impact of increases to healthcare costs coming soon.
You may have to go and shop for another healthcare plan.
I will indeed.
For AJ Okocha, he is now adding healthcare to his holiday shopping list.
Well, House Democrats do have enough support to force a vote on extending the subsidies. It comes after 4 Republicans signed their petition. Congress is expected to revisit the issue next month after the holiday break. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, we are going to have the story of a whale that washed ashore in the Bay Area decades ago. Her skeleton has been on display.
We discovered a couple of years ago that the metal structure holding her up had begun to rust away.
Our Juliet Goodrich joins us for a whale of a tale with a Hollywood ending.
earlier showers rolls in from the north just around lunchtime, actually. And our 5 o'clock hour tonight, that's when it starts to amplify. And then this atmospheric river really starts to tilt its way in as we head into Saturday and Sunday's forecast, with heavy showers right around the corner, really, as we head into next Monday and Tuesday, too. This is ahead of the holidays. So if you are planning on hitting the roads, if you're traveling in our local Bay Area airports, keep in mind there may be weather delays and the roads will definitely be slick. So just take it slow out there and definitely practice your patience as we head into the next couple days. Now, this weather is such an inconvenience, of course, because it leads into our Christmas Eve forecast. Now with snow up into the Sierra, widespread showers throughout San Francisco and the Bay Area and pretty much the whole state of California for that matter. Into Christmas Day, it's looking very similar too. So from now until Christmas Day, those showers are definitely going to ramp up. And to add to that, the rainfall totals are pretty impressive. Let's take a look at the next 7 days alone. Today, like I showed you already, just about 1/4 of an inch all the way up into the North Bay. You want to talk about the North Bay's numbers into the next couple days? From Sunday into Tuesday of next week, the National Weather Service has put out they could see anywhere up to around 6 inches of rain accumulate. So that's really a testament to how strong this atmospheric river really is and how long it's going to last too as we head into next week. Flooding is definitely possible in some of our microclimates, and we'll continue to monitor it closely as we head into the next 7 days leading up to Christmas Day.
We have a whale of a tale. Meet Miss Blue. From head to fluke. She's 87 feet long. And now, thanks to a team of scientists, surfers, engineers, and a Hollywood studio, Miss Blue is a full-scale digital double of a real blue whale who 46 years ago died and washed ashore in San Mateo County. About 2,000 blue whales live off the California coast, including this mother and her calf. We saw them in the middle of Monterey Bay from a boat guided by Monterey Bay Whale Watch. Their skin is gray-blue, but once underwater, as you can see, they appear brilliant blue. Blue whales can reach 100 feet in length and weigh up to 200 tons. Their heart is the size of a small car.
You know, it's pretty breathtaking, their size. I mean, they're almost double the size of humpbacks.
They're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be.
We saw their tails coming out of the water, which is apparently super unique. So yeah, we were really, really lucky.
They're amazing, ginormous animals.
As for Ms. Blue, decades ago, a team at UC Santa Cruz saved her bones to put them on display. Now it's her bones that need the saving. How that happened is just like a Hollywood movie. Right off the coast, on the northern end of Monterey Bay, you'll find a real celebrity, the phenomenal Miss Blue.
It's just wonderful.
Miss Blue is the skeleton of a blue whale that once swam off the California coast. Blue whales are the largest animal known to have ever lived on the planet.
I didn't realize that they were actually this big.
For decades, the landmark greeted visitors outside the Seymour Marine Discovery Center at UC Santa Cruz. But the center's executive director, Jonathan Hicken, realized being outside all that time comes at a cost.
We discovered a couple of years ago that the metal structure holding her up had begun to rust away. And that's to be expected, right? We're outside, we're in a coastal environment, there's water, there's sun, there's wind. And it became clear to us that this actually was becoming a safety hazard.
The decaying bones had to come down for repair. Would Miss Blue survive? Cue Hollywood wizard Jess Marley.
I'm a big runner, so anytime I travel, as we were up visiting our aunt, I went for a run.
Jess works for Halon Entertainment, a special effects studio in Southern California, involved in blockbuster films, TV shows, and games. His specialty, creating virtual 3D worlds. When Jess went on that run, he ran into Miss Blue.
She's gargantuan.
When he heard about her predicament, he got the idea to preserve her by creating a virtual twin.
We have all this great tech and VFX. We could go back and potentially do something with that.
Producer Andrew Ritter jumped on board.
I had no idea about blue whales before we saw this project. We just saw, oh, cool, there's a great a big fossil we can scan here.
The Seymour Center saw an ocean of possibilities.
We have a perfect 3D model of Miss Blue that can be used for scientific study, that can be used for entertainment purposes, that also can be used for educational purposes.
This is an unbelievable scanner.
With a high precision like a scanner, the Halon team captured the bones of Miss Blue from multiple angles.
We had to carry this up onto the roof to make sure that we could get angled down onto her body.
First, they recreated the skeleton. Then they revived all of her.
This really is exactly what she would have looked like when she was swimming around in the ocean.
The scientists at the Seymour provided expert feedback. The digital team tweaked every detail.
Down to a millimeter. It's a really cool merger of science and the tech that we use.
The final product, Miss Blue in all of her glory. While blue whales tend to be solitary, this gal was a team player.
Miss Blue was not a diva at all. No, she was so easy to, she always hit her mark. Absolutely a pleasure to deal with.
Now we have a digital Miss Blue. How the Santa Cruz surfers and engineers saved her bones. Our next episode is quite a tale. If you'd like to find out more about blue whales, Miss Blue, and the efforts to restore her, go to kpix.com.
Pretty cool. Coming up in our next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area could be one of the most significant overhauls to drug policy in decades. How President Trump's order could be a game changer for medical marijuana patients. Plus, how the decision to close 3 schools has some parents in the East Bay feeling betrayed. And let's take a live look outside before we head to break. Wide shot there of the bay. You can see the Bay Bridge. It is 10:31. We're going to have more on your top stories and your first alert forecast when we come back.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device. You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for staying with us this Friday. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's another look at some of our news headlines right now. The manhunt for the Brown University shooter is over. Police found the body of 48-year-old Claudio Neves Valente from Portugal inside a storage facility in New Hampshire last night. Investigators say he shot and killed himself. Police say he killed 2 students and injured 9 others on the Brown campus in Rhode Island on Saturday. Investigators believe he also killed an MIT professor 2 days later. Caltrans reversing course on those controversial HOV hours in Marin and Sonoma counties. In September, the agency extended those hours on 101, 5 to 10 in the morning and 3 to 7 in the afternoon. But drivers have been complaining ever since about longer commute times. Now Caltrans says it'll scale back. Expect permanent changes to be announced in a few weeks. San Francisco-based music label Empire Records says it is moving into the historic bank building at 1 Montgomery. City planners gave the company the go-ahead to make the building its new headquarters, with plans to hold free public concerts on the rooftop. They bought the 1908 building for about $25 million. The independent record label helped launch the careers of Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, and Cardi B. All right, let's get another check on our first alert forecast, because the weekend right upon us and the series of storms also on the way. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
It's the first alert weather day here in the Bay Area as we are talking about an atmospheric river right around the corner. Now today it's just a quick splash of showers before the main event heading into this weekend, but it's important to note this quick splash of showers can still give us up to around 1/4 inch of rain up into the North Bay near Petaluma, stretched all the way up into Santa Rosa as it continues to track from north to south. Now our friends down in the south, closer to San Jose, all throughout the Santa Clara Valley, can see closer to around 1/10 inch of rain as we head into the evening hours tonight, early morning hours tomorrow. But those showers start to ramp up everywhere throughout the Bay as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week, as this atmospheric river really acts like a fire hose pushing into California, specifically the Bay Area from the Pacific. Now at that point we can see anywhere up to around 2 to 6 inches of rain accumulate up in the North Bay, and then we continue to see more showers heading into Christmas Eve. Here we go all the way into the evening hours that night, and Christmas Day right around the corner. Heavy snow up into the Sierra and all throughout those foothills. There's definitely going to be winter storm watches and warnings in effect issued by the National Weather Service as we head into late next week. So from now until Christmas Day, I can't emphasize this enough. Be very careful out there on the roads, because we are seeing wet conditions each day as we head into this weekend's forecast and early next week all throughout the Bay Area. I'm actually going to draw off the map and just show you the next 7 days real fast. As we head into this weekend's forecast, daytime highs are also staying in the upper 50s and lower 60s, I should say. So that's not the big concern for us. It's just this wet weather causing inconveniences out there on the roads, as well as potentials for delays at airports too. So we'll keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center, but for now I'm going to send it back to you.
November's inflation report brought some good news for consumers. Analysts believe the numbers show inflation is cooling off a bit. The Consumer Price Index rose at an annual rate of 2.7% in November. That is slightly lower than economists predicted, and the lowest annual reading since March 2021. Despite improving inflation numbers, America's affordability crisis continues. Most people still feel the pinch of high prices these days, even though wages did increase by about 3.5% overall, according to new data from Bank of America. And you can see why here. The wages for middle and low income households are lagging, growing just 2.3% and 1.4% respectively.
Wealthy Americans don't spend a lot of their income on groceries, but low-income Americans who are spending a larger percentage of their income on groceries, if that goes up by 2%, that takes up a much larger increase in their income.
With the softening labor market, shrinking wage growth, and prices still on the rise, experts say the 2026 outlook for the economy remains uncertain. The White House is pushing to reclassify marijuana. President Trump signed an executive order downgrading cannabis from the most restrictive category of drugs.
I'm pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule I to a Schedule III controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain.
Well, marijuana was previously in the same category as heroin when it came to the federal government. So this means that the change means now that the government now treats cannabis as having moderate to low risk of dependence and recognizes medical value. Our Brad Hamilton has a look at how the change could impact the industry.
Years before marijuana sales became legal in California, Berkeley Patients Group was an early leader in the state's medical cannabis industry, considered the oldest continually running dispensary in the country. General Manager Daniel Allen called President Trump's executive order reclassifying marijuana as a less dangerous drug a step in the right direction, even if the full impact is still unknown.
One of the things is trying to figure out how that looks. And as much as we want to go yay, we want to make sure that it's still in the benefit of the people who need the medicine.
The change does not make marijuana legal at the federal level, but it could mean significant tax relief for cannabis businesses. Craig Small is an attorney at the Cannabis Industry Group. He says rescheduling marijuana to a Schedule III drug reduces the federal tax burden that has hurt businesses for years.
You can imagine a business that you think is making $1 million a month, but $800,000 of that is for expenses, but they're being taxed on the full $1 million at a 30, 40, 50% tax rate. That could be a lot of money.
The change could also expand research into marijuana's medicinal value. Right now, marijuana studies have been heavily restricted because of how the drug is classified, and Ziva Cooper with UCLA's Center for Cannabis Research says rescheduling could help remove some of that red tape.
So that's a very big deal, okay, because right now there are very few manufacturers that hold a Schedule I license that can make the product, that can make marijuana to give to us so we can study it.
But not everyone is on board. Kevin Sabet is the CEO of Smart Approaches to Marijuana and a former White House drug policy advisor. He says the move sends the wrong message.
I think it's a really bad move because today's marijuana is so much more potent than it used to be. And this is going to give significant tax breaks to the marijuana industry and really allow them to advertise a lot more.
The rescheduling itself has to move through several federal agencies, including the DEA, so it could take months before a decision is official.
This move marks one of the most significant changes in U.S. drug policy on the federal level in decades. The Trump administration is also trying to ban gender-affirming care for children. They announced new rules to strip federal funds from hospitals that provide medical treatments to transgender minors. That includes surgeries, but also puberty blockers and hormone therapies.
So-called gender-affirming care has inflicted lasting physical and psychological damage on vulnerable young people. This is not medicine, it is malpractice.
The proposal will face a lengthy rulemaking process, and the UCLA already promised to challenge it in court. Some hospitals, though, have already ended or cut back on their gender-affirming care programs. California Attorney General Rob Bonta released a statement saying, in part, these proposed rules are the Trump administration's latest attempt to strip Americans of the care they need to live as their authentic selves. He went on to say those rules are not only cruel, they're also unlawful. In Vallejo, hundreds of families just found out that their children are going to be having to move to new schools next year. The Vallejo City Unified School District voted to shut down 3 elementary schools after this academic year: Highland, Lincoln, and Penny Cook. This comes as the district faces a multi-million-dollar deficit, and there are broad cuts coming beyond the campus closures. Akara St. Cyr looks at the impact.
You ready? All righty, sister.
This will be the last school year Sandra Cruz picks her daughter up from Lincoln Elementary.
You build family with your school, your kid get used to it, and then you have to rip them from that.
Vallejo City Unified School District officials unanimously voted Wednesday to close Lincoln, along with Pennycook and Highland Elementary. The closures will affect at least 1,000 students and more than 100 staff members.
It breaks my heart.
Cruz, whose daughter needs special speech classes, is concerned.
I feel like they're closing the wrong schools.
Superintendent Ruban Fernandez says the closures were necessary to keep the district afloat.
We've been in decline for many, many years. A district that was once over 20,000 students is under 10,000.
Declining enrollment is contributing to a projected budget deficit of about $26 million. The district closed 2 other schools and cut 75 staff positions earlier this year. And Wednesday night, officials took action to eliminate more than 200 positions for next school year.
It's stressful for everyone.
Kevin Steele, president of the Vallejo Education Association, says they're hoping to place teachers impacted by the 3 elementary school closures at other schools.
We've been working on this since August, maybe a little bit before August. So we have known that this was coming.
But concerned parents like Cruz hope next year will be more stable.
It'd be nice to be heard, to be listened to, because I really do feel like they're falling, like all of our pleas are falling on deaf ears.
It's going to take a little bit of time before impacted students will even find out where they're going to attend school next year. The superintendent says the district is going to redraw residential boundaries next month. Parents will also have the chance to apply for transfers if they don't like where their kids are placed. Coming up next, they turn your dollars into dozens of meals. Hear from Bay Area Food Bank volunteers why they keep coming back to help those in need.
It's the first alert weather day here in the Bay Area as we are gearing up for an atmospheric river to roll in right around the corner, and this is going to bring in heavy amounts of rain, especially as we head into this weekend and early next week. Now today alone, places like the North Bay can see anywhere up to around 1/4 of an inch. Anywhere down into the South Bay, closer to 1/100 of an inch of rain. But that's going to start adding up as we head into the next couple days, especially as the showers start to get heavier Sunday into Tuesday of next week, where the North Bay can see anywhere up to around 6 inches in certain microclimates. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
A lot of families are still struggling this holiday season and throughout the year to put food on the table. That is where our food banks and Bay Area neighbors step up to help fill the need. That includes Samaritan House, one of the largest anti-poverty organizations serving San Mateo County. They provide produce, warm meals, and clothes to more than 30,000 people in the Bay Area. Our Suji Nam shows us how volunteers are working around the clock to help feed those in need.
Everything here was made in-house from scratch.
Every Tuesday morning,
Spanish rice, some mixed vegetables, and some roasted chicken.
Bernard Chen rolls up his sleeves at Samaritan House in San Mateo.
I think it's just a great way to give back and to connect with the community.
Chen has been prepping and packaging homemade meals for the past 2 years.
I used to run a data science company, and now I do volunteering and some other light consulting.
And this is something he looks forward to every week.
Garlic and onion.
Working alongside dozens of volunteers, whipping up more than 1,000 meals to serve to the community.
Our customer base has increased something like 10% a year, every year for the last 2 or 3 years. And I suspect it's going to be the same kind of thing this year, if not more.
He, along with fellow volunteer Patty Shu, are noticing the increase in demand.
Thousands of people are getting fed good food, good nutritious stuff.
Shu, who has been volunteering for more than 2 decades, wants to do everything she can to help serve those in need.
That is the mission in life, is just serve my community. This is where I live, and I want to help people where I live.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your work.
And that is a mission CEO Laura Bent lives by. She says their customer base is increasing due to heightened demand for food supply.
Currently, we're over 30,000. We anticipate being over 32 to 33,000 pretty quickly in the new year.
Bent oversees about 3,000 volunteers who manage the drive-through food pantry, dining room, and the community market. But there are some challenges they're continuing to face.
With all of the cuts that are going on, our largest food partner has received the cuts the same way that we're seeing in the community, and so we're seeing a reduction of food come in. And so our organization is having to pivot and really ask the community to step up and support the organization. Every dollar counts, every hour counts.
There has to be some way to feed it through.
And volunteers like Chen are putting in every valuable hour into his community.
I feel really proud of what we can do, because we can take, half of a pig and feed, 50 people with it, instead of half of a pig, and I don't know what a normal person would do with that.
Helping families, one warm homemade meal at a time.
And tomorrow, Samaritan House is holding a holiday toy shop. They're going to hand out more than 3,000 toys to local families struggling with financial hardship. A toy shop is open from 9 to 1 at the San Mateo County Event Center. And Bay Area food banks are still in need of volunteers and donations heading into Christmas and beyond. To help support our Food for Bay Area Families initiative, you can scan the QR code on your screen right now or head to our website, kpix.com/give. Well, this is exciting. The Bay Area is going to have a spot in this year's Rose Parade. For the first time since 1978, San Francisco is going to have its very own float called Believe in San Francisco. Starting today and continuing throughout the weekend, you can help decorate it at the Winter Walk in Union Square. The float is expected to be covered in more than 50,000 flowers, showing off the city's charm and diversity. It's going to feature the Golden Gate Bridge, a cable car, and the Dragon Gate entrance to Chinatown. Coming up, imagine if your new house came with 8-decade-old decorations. How a local family is determined to carry on a community tradition. Can't believe it. Less than a week until Christmas, and neighborhoods across the Bay Area are shining bright with amazing light displays. In Palo Alto, it's more subtle, a nod to tradition rather than flair. Max Darrow introduces us to a family who inherited a community tradition when they moved into their new home.
I have Frosty the Snowman here.
When Alicia Heckman and her family found their home on Palo Alto's Christmas Tree Lane 2 years ago, a realtor joked, you buy the Christmas decorations and you get a house that comes with them.
It wasn't until we closed on the house that everyone started sending us photos of their kids on the sleigh, and we're like, oh, okay. This is what we signed up for.
For 2 weeks during December, her home takes shape as the night before Christmas house. It's a tradition that goes way back. Alicia knew it would be special to live here, but it wasn't until that first Christmas that she realized just how rewarding it would be.
You know, it really is a community builder, I think.
The lights went on for the first time in 1940. In Christmas Tree Lane, historians note there were only 2 years where the lights didn't go on. 1942 during World War II and 1973 during the energy crisis. So for 83 of the 85 years, this 2-block stretch of Fulton Street is where families have created core memories.
There was a really cute couple that came with their dog, and they were taking selfies in the sleigh, and I wanted to go outside and be like, I can take a picture of you, but you also want them to have their moment too, right? You don't want them to know that you can see them through your window, so it's a little bit, I mean, it's really sweet.
The setups here aren't glitzy and meant to razzle-dazzle. They're traditional.
It's kind of meant to be that way because a lot of people grew up with these decorations, and it's part of the tradition of their families to come down the street. And that's, you know, that's kind of what you're signing up for when you come to this Christmas Tree Lane versus some of the other more fancy modern ones.
Naomi Horiuchi will tell you they haven't changed much since she was a little kid living on the street.
It does look the same to me. I think what's happened with some of the decorations is if they've broken down, then they've had to be replaced. But everybody tries to keep the original ones as much as possible, of course.
Her home comes to life as the train house. And as she did, her kids are learning to keep this special tradition going.
It's very close to my heart.
Alicia is grateful Christmas Tree Lane found her, and that she and her family can help tell its story.
It's exciting to be able to be a part of the traditions that people have established over the years, and we want to carry the torch.
Creating memories that will last a lifetime.
Very cute. We would love you to join us for our Christmas Eve and Christmas night holiday light special. We're going to share some of the best displays from across the Bay Area. Our special airing on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. Well, thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Ann Makovic. We're going to be right back with your first alert forecast and another look at your top stories.